Hello everyone, I'm Saili and today I'm back with another video lecture for you. So before starting with our today's lecture, please follow us on our WhatsApp and Telegram groups for more such video lectures, PDF notes, doubt sections, quizzes, and do subscribe to our channel, that is Edufy India, so that you don't miss any of the important lectures. Now let's start with our today's topic. So in our earlier lectures that we will be having separate sections on plant kingdom. So our today's topic of discussion is kingdom plantae. Now, our understanding of this plant kingdom has been changed over time. So let's have a detailed view of this kingdom. With the introduction, kingdom plantae contains members that are eukaryotic, multicellular, chlorophylla containing and that are having cell wall, and it is popularly known as plant kingdom. The kingdom plantae has been described under algae, that is Thallophyta, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. The overview of this classification is demonstrated here in the flow chart that you can see on your screen. Now, we'll see some of the classification systems that are used in this kingdom plantae. So, our first system is artificial system of classification. This system is based on comparison of one or a few superficial characteristics which are helpful in easy identification of organisms. This system remained in use for about 2000 years. Now the system has some advantages. So firstly, artificial system is easy to remember as only one or few characters are used and the traits used are of interest to humans. And it also has some disadvantages. So disadvantages are this system uses only few superficial characteristics, example habits, numbers, colors and shapes of leaves, etc. Then they consider mainly the vegetative characteristics or the androecium characters as given by Linus. It does not demonstrate natural and phylogenetic relationships. So this give equal weightage to vegetative and reproductive or sexual characters. This is not acceptable as vegetative characters are more easily influenced by the environmental factors. Now talking about our next system, that is natural system of classification. It is also known as phenetic system of classification. The natural system of classification is based on natural affinities among the organisms. It considers both external and internal features like structure, anatomy, embryology and phytochemistry. And advantages of the system are only related organisms are kept in a group and unrelated organisms are kept in separate groups. It shows natural relationships among the organisms and it shows possible origin of different taxa. Now talking about disadvantages of this natural system of classification, there is more emphasis given on natural character. In this system, several related families are separated and unrelated families are put together and evolutionary basis is neglected. Now our third system is phylogenetic system of classification. The phylogenetic system of classification indicates the evolutionary as well as genetic relationships among organisms. This system is based on fossil records of biochemical, anatomical, morphological, physiological and embryological and genetical. So, the phylogenetic system of classification are mainly the rearrangement of taxonomic characteristics in addition to the phylogenetic information. And talking about advantages of this system, families and order in this system are of small size. So, this is one of the advantages. Then this system is in conformation with the modern views of phylogeny. This system uses information from various sources to solve problems of classification. Such informations become more important in the absence of supporting fossil evidences. And then disadvantages of this phylogenetic system of classification is this is not helpful in plant identification. The classification is too outdated as the habit is used as main basis of classification. So this was about some types of classification systems that are used in classification of plants. Now we will see some types of taxonomies. For the suitability in studies, various categorizations has been done in taxonomy. We have already studied what is meant by taxonomy in our previous lectures. So if you have missed that, please do watch. Are uploaded in our channel, that is Edufy India. So do watch. Now we will discuss some of the important taxonomies. So first one is numerical taxonomy. It is carried out by quantitative assessment of similarities and differences in order to make objective assessments. It is now easily carried out using computers based on all observable characteristics. Number and codes are assigned to all the characters and the data are then processed. In this way, each character is given equal importance and at the same time hundreds of characters can be considered. So second type is cytotoxicity. Cytotoxicity is based on cytological information like chromosome number, structure, behavior and types of chromosomes. Let's take an example. For example, chromosome number is constant for a species. Let's say in man, a chromosome number is 46. In apes, it is 48, and also in potato, it is 48. Then 20 in maize, 16 in onion, and 8 in Drosophila. So this were chromosome numbers that is constant in different species. So behavior of chromosomes was used by taxonomists during pairing and banding patterns to understand the relationships between species. For example, origin of humans from apes, origin of wheat, etc. So this last type is chemotaxonomy. It is the system based on the evidences from chemical constituents like enzymes, hormones, proteins, amino acids, and etc. And also some specific chemicals, usually secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites means those who have medicinal properties in them. And the chemical nature of proteins have been utilized to study similarities and relationships. For example, the presence of raphides has been found to be common in 35 families of plant. So raphides are needle-shaped crystals of calcium oxalate monohydrate that are found in many plant species. So this was about our taxonomy types. Today our first group under plant kingdom. So first we'll start with Thallophyta, that is algae. Algae are chlorophylla bearing, simple, thylakoid, autotrophic and largely aquatic organism. It is found in both fresh water and marine water. Now we'll see some of the important features or characteristics of algae. First we'll discuss about habitat, means where it is found. These are found in both freshwater and marine habitats. Some algal forms are also found in moist habitats like wet rocks and soil, trunk trees, etc. Some of them are also found in close association with fungi, that is lichen, which we already studied in our previous lecture. And also it is found on animals. For example, it is found on sloth bear. So now next feature is thallus organization. Thallus means plant body. So the plant body, that is thallus of algae, is without differentiation. The basic form and size of algae is highly variable and ranges from filamentous to colonial. These are attached on the substratum with the help of holdfast. Substratum means a surface in which the cell attaches to, especially when the cell is growing or moving. And holdfast means a stalked organ by which an algae or other simple aquatic plant or animal is attached to a substrate, that is substratum. So the algae are attached on the substratum with the help of this holdfast. Now our next feature is structure of algal cell. So talking about its structure, it has an eukaryotic plant cell structure. The cytoplasm contains membrane bound chloroplast, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, that is ER, Golgi bodies and many other cell organelles also. The cell wall contains cellulose and the nucleus contains nuclear membrane. The picture which you can see on your screen is of freshwater algae. So this is how freshwater algae looks. Our next feature is food material. Algae have main food reserve as starch. In brown algae, mannitol and laminarian are the main reserve food material, whereas in red algae, Floridian starch is the reserve food material. So, next feature is reproduction. The algae reproduces vegetatively, asexually and sexually. Talking about first vegetative reproduction, it occurs by fragmentation, tubers, stolons, adventitious branches, etc. And each fragment gets developed into a thallus, that is plant body. Then in asexual reproduction, it occurs by a number of accessory spores such as zoospores, planospores, carpospores, etc. The most common being the zoospores, which are flagellated. The cells which produce spores are called sporangia. The sporangia may be the vegetative cells or modified vegetative cells. Example of vegetative cells is seen in Calamdomonas. Now in sexual reproduction, It occurs by fusion of two gametes. On the basis of morphology of reproductive cells, sexual reproduction is of two types. First one is isogamy. In this method, two morphologically similar gametes fuse to form a zygote. Example, Spirogyra. Then second one is heterogamy. In this process, fusion occurs between morphologically as well as physiologically different gametes. It is of two types. Anisogamy, it is the fusion of structurally dissimilar gametes which differ in size and behavior. Male gamete is more active and female gamete is less active and bigger in size. Example of some species of Calamdomonas. And oogamy, in this process, the male gamete is motile, active, small and without reserve food. The male gamete is bigger, passive, non-motile and laden with food. Example is Fucus. Now talking about our last feature, that is embryo and life cycle. And embryo stage is not present. Life cycle is haploidtic, diploidtic, diplohaploidtic, haplohaploidtic, etc. An alternation of generation occurs in diplohaploidtic life cycle. So this was our some important features of algae. Adding to the point, talking about economic importance of algae. Algae are responsible for carrying out about a half of the total carbon dioxide fixation on Earth by the process of photosynthesis. So they are of great economic importance. And some forms of marine, brown and red algae produce large amount of hydrocolloids. These are algin. Some protein-rich algae like Chlorella and Spirulina are used as food supplements by sailors and ship travelers. So now furthermore, so in this slide we will be seeing about some classification of algae. Algae are divided into various classes based on pigmentation, stored food and flagellation. The three main classes are, as you can see on your screen, Chlorophaceae, Phaeophaceae, Rhodophaceae. So first we will discuss about our first class, that is Chlorophaceae, that is green algae. The members of Chlorophaceae are commonly called green algae. There are about 7,000 species in this class. The reserve food material is starch. Now we will see some of the characteristics of this first class. Habitat means where they are found. So these green algae are mostly in marine forms. Only some are freshwater. Chlorella can tolerate moderately warm waters. Snow-dwelling forms are called cryophytes. Example, Calamdomonas nivalis. Now, talking about their cell organization, these are unicellular, colonial, coenocytic and multicellular forms. Cell walls contain cellulose, inner layer, and pectose, that is outer layer in most of the green algae. The chloroplasts may be plate-like, reticulate, discoid or cup-shaped, spiral or ribbon-shaped. The chloroplasts contain pigments. Most of the members have one or more storage bodies called parinoids located in the chloroplasts. Parinoids contain protein besides starch, and some algae may store food in the form of oil droplets also. Then about their plant body, that is thallus, green algae can be flagellate, unicellular, non-flagellate. Reproduction in this green algae is vegetatively, asexually and sexually by various methods. So talking about vegetative reproduction occurs through cell division in unicellular forms, fragmentation in tubers, stolones, storage cells, etc. Asexual reproduction occurs by zoospores, hypnospores and daughters colonies. And sexual reproduction may be isogamous, ansogamous or oogamous. Life cycle can be haploidtic, diploidtic and diplohaploidtic. In haploidtic life cycle, there is single somatic phase which is haploid, and diploid stage is represented by a single cell or zygote. Example in Spirogyra. So this was about our first class. Then our second class is Phaeophaceae, that is brown algae. The members of Phaeophaceae are fucoxanthin and phycocolloid rich multicellular eukaryotic algae. Its common members are seaweeds called kelps. This class is comprised of about 2000 species. Then talking about some features of this class, that is of brown algae. So first we'll discuss about habitat. Brown algae are mostly marine. These are found mostly in colder seas or during cold seasons in tropical regions. And about their size, they range from simple branched filamentous forms, ectocarpus, to profusely branched forms as represented by kelps. This represent largest algae. The largest kelps are macrocystic, that is in size 40 to 100 meter, and Nereocytis, that is 20 to 30 meter in size. And about the cell organization, all members are multicellular. Cell wall is composed of cellulose, pectose, and phycocolloids. The cellulosic wall of vegetative classes is usually covered on the outside by a gelatinous coating of algin. Then plant body of this brown algae is heterotrichous filament with both prostrate and upright branches, that is ectocarpus. The parenchymatous structure is found in higher forms. The plant body of large forms often differentiated into holdfast, which is usually attaches to the substratum. A stall called the stipe and lamina, which is photosynthetic. The plant body of large forms often is differentiated into holdfast, which is usually attaches to the substratum. A stall called the stipe and lamina, which is photosynthetic. Conducting tubes, or it is also called as trumpet hyphae, are present in larger brown algae or kelps. Kelps are the largest algae. They help in conduction of food materials. Conducting tubes, or it is also called as trumpet hyphae, are present in larger brown algae or kelps, that is the largest algae, and they help in conduction of food materials. Then photosynthetic pigments and color, this include chlorophylla 4c and carotenoids. They ranges in color from green to various shades of brown depending upon the amount of xanthophylla pigment, fucoxanthin present in them. Then their food reserve, it remains in the form of complex carbohydrates such as laminarian or mannitol. So talking about flagellation, they contain heterocont flagellation, that is with one smooth white slash and one tensile flagella. Reproduction, vegetative reproduction occurs through fragmentation and adventitious branches and stolons. Then asexual reproduction is by biflagellate zoospores, which are pear-shaped having two unequal laterally attached flagella. Then sexual reproduction is performed by isogamy, anisogamy and oogamy. Union of gametes may take place in water or between the oogonium, oogamon species. When talking about life cycle, isomorphic alternation of generation is found in some brown algae, example ectocarpus. Many brown algae, the diploid generation or phase is dominant, and the haploid phase, that is N phase, haploid phase is either microscopic or represented by gametes only, example fucus. Then economic importance of this class is the brown algae that are used as food are laminaria, Nereocytis, macrocytes, etc. And these brown algae are collected from sea source and used as manure. They improve mineral content of soils. And one example of this brown algae, that is fucus and also laminaria, are rich in iodine. So this was about economic importance of our first class. Then our last class, that is third, is Rhodophaceae, that is red algae. The members of Rhodophaceae are commonly called red algae because of the predominance of the red pigment. These are phycoerythrin in their body. So features of this are like they are found in most of the red algae are marine with greater concentrations found in the warmer seas. They are found in both well-lighted regions close to the surface of water and also at great depths in oceans where relatively little light penetrates. Then about the plant body, that is thallus, the red thalli of most of the algae are multicellular. Some of them have complex body organization like Asterocytis is pseudofilamentous. Porphyridium is unicellular. Porphyra has parenchymatous seeds. And Gelidium is a multicellular seaweed. So the cell wall contains cellulose, pectic compounds and certain mucopolysaccharides called phycocolloids such as agar, etc. In many algae, cell wall contains pits. In many algae, cell wall contains pits. Then, talking about the photosynthetic pigments, this red algae include chlorophylla 4, carotins, xanthophyls, and phycobilins. Phycobilins are water soluble and are of two types, that is red colored phycoerythrin and blue colored phycocyanine. The reserved food material is Floridian starch, which is similar in constitution to glycogen and amylopectin. We're talking about reproduction. Vegetative reproduction occurs by fragmentation, regeneration of holdfast and gamete. Asexual reproduction occurs by non-motile spores, that is carpospores, monospores, tetraspores and neutral spores. These are all non-motile spores through which asexual reproduction occurs. Then sexual reproduction occurs by non-motile gametes and is oogamous type. Male sex organs is called spermatogonium or antheridium. The male produced is non-flagellated called as spermathium. The female sex organ is called carpogonium. After fertilization, a new structure called carposporophyte is produced. It remains attached to the parent algae. Then about their life cycle has two or more phases such as haploidtic, haploidtic, etc. We'll be studying in more details about the life cycles and the stages of this life cycle in our further coming lectures. So talking about economics, economic importance of red algae. The red algae like porphyra are used as food in various parts of the world. Agar yielding algae. This species are called aerophytes. An example is Gelidium. So Gelidium is used to obtain agar. Some algae also have some medicinal properties. So this table gives a overview of the classes of algae we just discussed in our previous slide, and in this they have mentioned their important characteristics of each class. So the table is quite helpful for us to remember the few important characteristics of our three classes. So go through this table once. So this picture represents examples of algal classes, that is green algae, brown algae and red algae, as we discussed in our previous slide. And the pictures are numbered, and according to that they are also labeled, so which you can see the information of this picture you can see on your downside of your slide. And so this was all about our today's lecture, that is plant kingdom. We saw it, introduction of plant kingdom, then classification systems, types of taxonomies that are used in plant kingdom, and our first group of plant kingdom, that is algae. So for more lectures, do follow us on our WhatsApp and Telegram groups. The link is given in the description box of this video, and also subscribe to our channel, that is Edufy India. Thank you for your attention.